Single dad found a female cop dying. What he and his dog did shocked the entire police force. It was the kind of night that makes you want to stay inside. Cold, dark, rain coming down sideways. But Marcus Webb didn't have that option. He had a 6-year-old daughter at home with a fever, and the pharmacy 3 miles away was the only thing on his mind. He never expected that a detour down a flooded back road would change his life, and someone else's, forever. Before we get into this story, if moments like this one move you, if you believe in the power of ordinary people doing extraordinary things, then you're in the right place. Hit that subscribe button and join our family here at Heartfelt Moments. Give this video a like if kindness matters to you, and drop a comment below telling us about a time a stranger showed up for you when you needed it most. Now, let's get into it. Marcus was 34 years old, a single dad working double shifts at a warehouse in rural Tennessee. He wasn't a man of many words, but everyone in his small town knew him as the guy who'd shovel your driveway without being asked, or leave groceries on a neighbor's porch during hard times. He wasn't rich. He wasn't special, at least not in the way the world usually measures that word. But he had a heart the size of the state he lived in. That night, with a bottle of children's Tylenol in mind and his old truck rumbling through the storm, Marcus had his 7-year-old rescue dog, Duke, riding shotgun. Duke was a big, scruffy mixed breed with soulful brown eyes and a habit of resting his chin on Marcus's arm whenever he sensed tension. He was sensing a lot of it that night. The detour took Marcus down Old Mill Road, a narrow stretch that wound behind the tree line near the edge of town. His headlights cut through the rain, and that's when he saw it, a police cruiser, half off the road, its front end pushed up against a ditch. The lights were still flashing. The engine was still running. Marcus slowed down. His instinct told him to keep moving, to mind his business. But Duke pressed his nose to the window and whimpered. Marcus stopped the truck. He pulled on his jacket, told Duke to stay, and jogged through the downpour toward the cruiser. When he got to the driver's side window, his stomach dropped. Inside was a female officer, slumped over the wheel. She was conscious, barely, but her face was pale and her lips were moving without sound. Her name tag read Officer Dana Solis. Marcus yanked open the door. "Ma'am, hey, can you hear me?" Her eyes fluttered. "Chest," she whispered. "Can't breathe." He called 911 immediately. The dispatcher told him an ambulance was 12 minutes out. 12 minutes. On a night like that, in a ditch on an empty road, 12 minutes felt like a lifetime. Marcus did the only thing he could think to do. He climbed halfway into the cruiser, gently repositioned Officer Solis so she was upright, and held her steady. He talked to her, quietly, calmly. He told her his name. He told her about his daughter, Lily, and her fever, and how Lily loved butterflies and macaroni and cheese. He talked to fill the silence, to give her something to hold on to. Then he heard Duke. The dog had somehow nudged the truck door open and bounded through the rain straight to the cruiser. He squeezed himself into the backseat, pushed his big head between the seats, and rested his chin on Officer Solis's arm, the same way he always did for Marcus. She looked down at Duke. And she started to cry. "It's okay," Marcus told her softly. "He does that. He knows." Later, Officer Solis would tell her colleagues that in those terrifying minutes, with pain radiating through her chest and the storm raging outside, what kept her calm was the warmth of that dog's chin on her arm and the steady, gentle voice of a stranger who had absolutely no reason to stop, but did. The paramedics arrived and rushed her to the hospital. She had suffered a cardiac event, likely triggered by extreme stress and an undetected heart condition. The doctors said that staying calm in those 12 minutes, her heart rate lowering, her breathing steadying, had made a critical difference in her outcome. The following week, Officer Dana Solis stood in front of her entire precinct, arm in a sling, voice still a little rough, and told them the story. She described Marcus's voice in the dark. She described Duke's warm, stubborn, beautiful presence in the backseat. She said she had spent her career serving her community, and that night, the community had served her right back. The police department tracked Marcus down. They brought him in, along with Duke, who was given a formal, if unofficial, honorary badge, and presented him with a commendation for civilian heroism. Cameras flashed. Officers who'd seen everything wiped their eyes. Marcus stood there in his warehouse jacket, holding Duke by the collar, looking like he'd rather be anywhere else on Earth. When a reporter asked him later why he stopped that night, he shrugged and said something that ended up on the local news, then the national news, then seemingly everywhere. Because Duke whimpered. And I figured Duke was smarter than me. Here's the truth that story carries. Kindness rarely announces itself. It doesn't wait for the perfect moment or the perfect person. It shows up in the middle of a storm, on a road you weren't supposed to be on, in the form of a scruffy dog and a tired dad who chose to stop when stopping was inconvenient. You don't have to be a hero to change someone's life. You just have to be willing to show up. So the next time something, or someone, makes you pause, listen to that feeling. It just might be the most important thing you do all year. Stay kind out there. The world needs more of it than ever.